Alright everybody, how did we used to do this? Oh, let's hit the stand, that's perfect. It is January 10th. Monday the 10th, we are standing in place. Again. So, yeah, January 10th. January 10th, 2022, Eric Marc, standing in place with you here again, because I'm really trying to keep myself sane. Current world situation, Omicron's going crazy, lots of people get infected, not a lot of people get sick. Day-to-day life, there's this weird mixture of panic because everybody's testing positive for COVID now, and a whole lot of people that seem like nothing's going on. And it's a really weird environment right now, and it's very confusing. The environment that I exist in, the people that I interact with, the job that I have, it's a very cautious environment. I have to wear masks at work, which prior to COVID was not a mask type job. I wasn't working in an OR. So right now there's like testing going on. There's lots of people out. In my personal life, there's a level of caution. There's concerns that can affect work for both of us. There's things that can affect health for people close to us. And all of this comes together in such a way that I look at Instagram and I see shows going on. I see concerts and comedy shows. And it looks like I'm looking at a whole different thing that I want to participate in. But it's so far departed from the environment that I'm operating in that I haven't figured out how to make the jump back in. So I'm trying to work that out, and as an exercise to at least keep moving and keep something going on, I thought I would record one of these. So I'm going to try and find a positive light. Negative thing that just happened is that battery just said it's going to die. So 1 second, let me see what I can do about that. Alright, I thought I had checked the batteries. And I thought I'd check the batteries and it was good, and it didn't look like it was. So here we go. What can we stand in place about? I don't know what we can stand in place about. I got to find something amusing or entertaining or questioning, and I just wanted to see how this went. So I didn't write anything down. I didn't really think this out. I thought I'd put the damn camera on. If this is trash, I just won't ever put it up. What's going on? Besides all the shit that I'm having trouble dealing with. I've got 2 dogs in the house these days. You walk the dogs, they pee and shit all over the place, and I am a little intrigued by the level of yellow of the urine from these dogs. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Because human urine, there's a direct correlation between dehydration and what you're eating that will affect the urine. I've never fed a dog asparagus, so I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if feeding a dog asparagus generates the response that it does for humans. I don't know if feeding a dog beets is going to elicit the same response that it does for humans. In fact, there's a concern that if you feed a dog beets, it might actually be a much worse outcome than just the fear that you are bleeding out of your rear end when you go to take to drop the kids off at the pool. So this yellow urine that is sticking in the snow. There's snow on the ground. For those of you that aren't in Colorado, We've got snow that's actually stuck around for a few days, and it's pretty sweet. Also kind of annoying. I went running today, and I have to be careful every time I cross a street, not because I'm worried about a car, but because the street is covered in ice. And I'm not running in cleats. I'm not running in crampons. That'd be a hell of a show, right? Marc, running down the street in crampons, you know, just training for the most hardcore race that you've ever heard of. That's not accurate. Why is it so yellow? My urine turns really yellow sometimes because I take a lot of vitamins, right? Especially with current situation, I jack up the vitamins, right? Lots of C and D and B and, you know, all the things. I try to be a pretty healthy individual. I went and got a couple shots, whatever, but still, like, vitamins are important. And right now it seems like our immune system is getting tested a little extra, so let's have a little extra horsepower in there. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. Hurts the wallet a little bit, but I'm not giving those vitamins to the dog, and I don't think my dog's gotten into the vitamins. So why is his pee so bright? And why? What makes a determination for a male dog to lift their leg or not when they pee? Can I get a poll? How many of you have male dogs that do not lift their leg when they pee? I got a male dog that when he pees, he's not squatting. I have a female dog too. She does like a squat, like an intentional squat. And I've seen male dogs that do that. This dog doesn't. He just stands stiff. Like he walks and then he gets into a position and he just kind of like, I can't, if I went down on the floor and showed you, the camera's not going to follow. So, yeah, he just is like stiff and then pees. And then depending on how bad he has to pee, changes the amount of pressure that everything comes out with, which if it's a high enough pressure, he ends up peeing on the back of his front legs, which is a strange move. I'm glad that we're not built in such a way that we pee on our own limbs. It feels like you would pee on your own limbs and then you would start changing the way that you urinate. You would change your style. You would lift the leg. You would bend the knee. You would lift the leg. And you would try and at least urinate with intention. Urinate with intention. This male dog, he's not fixed yet. He's coming up on fixing time. And here's another thing, and I probably shouldn't predict what the outcome's going to be, but I think I have some control. I think I have the ability to influence how this gets done. I didn't realize that there's some dogs that gets fixed, that gets too much letter Kenny. Some dogs that get fixed, that they remove the testes, but they leave the sack. Why would you ever do that? That's like running or walking around with an empty wallet, a backpack with nothing in it, and never intending to put anything in it. A sealed backpack with nothing in it that you can't put stuff in. Like if they removed a dog's testes but left like a pouch so that you could put like treats in there, that might be worthwhile. Because could you imagine, like, if you go backpack and you hike with your dog, a lot of people, they put packs on a dog. They make them carry their own water, carry their own food. I sure as hell will. This dog doesn't stop growing. That means he's going to have to bring a whole lot of food into the backcountry. He's going to be carrying his crap, for sure. So maybe I should have his testes turned into like a kangaroo pouch, like a little pocket, so that he could put a little bit of kibble in there, a little trail mix, doggy trail mix, so he can nibble on that while we're walking. I don't have to get treats out for him. I might have just come up with a brilliant idea right here. I might have. I might be a freaking genius. This started as concern that there's people removing dogs' testes and leaving an empty sack, which just looks really, really strange. Which removing the sack also should look strange, but it doesn't. We've gotten very used to that. Just the equipment with no backup singers. Empty sack will be weird, unless you could use it for something. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. Huh. I had no idea that that's the path that this would go down. I realized that the starting point was this kind of weird, unhappy, it's a negative feeling. It's a negative feeling. I see all out there, and I want to be at least in the freaking audience, and then working on getting back on the stage. That's where I want to be. And fucking figure it out. Got to figure it out. What else? Is there something else? What are we at? 12 minutes. Is there something else we could talk about? Something else we can talk about. Doomsday Glacier? Doomsday Glacier's been on my radar a bit. Actually, speaking of radar, Doomsday Glacier, fuck the Doomsday Glacier. Whether that's legitimate or not, a little bit of stuff that I saw seemed very interesting. So hey, if you live near the shore, next 5 years might be really interesting. But it's not completely clear if it's just dramatic science or legit. And I didn't look it up. Usually for these I would read some stuff and see if I could understand the subject before I try to talk about it. Something that I have been keeping track of a bit, besides Mr. Musk and his chopsticks catching the largest flying object ever built, which I don't know if that's true either, because wasn't the spruce goose? The spruce goose was pretty huge. I hope, if you're tracking, if you're with me right now and you're still tracking, I owe you a big ass hug. I'll give you a big hug. You're incredible for tracking. Where I was headed was James Webb. So was it James Webb Space Telescope? I don't understand how this thing works. It's infrared. It's going to act like a time machine and see the birth of the universe, or some people would, I guess, assume that it's going to see God's face or God's finger with Michelangelo on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel going, and now there's a galaxy. But maybe not. I don't understand how the telescope works, but I did watch a bunch of stuff on how this thing is launching and unfolding and all the crap it has to do to shield itself from the sun, and its position where it's going to be. This thing's going to be trailing behind. Is it behind the moon even? Can't be behind the moon, because then it would have to be going around the Earth. It's going to be behind the Earth, in line with the sun, so that the Earth is making a shadow from the sun. And then this thing has this like whole panel of heat shields, which is just like mylar sheets with an aluminum coating on it, and had to unfold like an origami project. And it's 300 different moving parts, something like that. And this thing is remote control in space, going bloop, 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 and opening itself up. And then it's going to like chill and take a couple months to get out into a position where it's just going to kind of like draft off the Earth as it revolves around the sun, so that it can take pictures of the beginning of time. I wish I better understood the concepts of all the words I just said, because this thing sounds freaking incredible. It's not going to take pictures of Earth. That's always an interesting thing. They put all this stuff in space. Hubble telescope. I gotta believe they could turn that thing around and just take pictures of Earth. And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff up there that is, right? We got Google Earth, we've got maps, we've got satellite pictures, and that's the stuff we know about. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that we don't know about that works even better than all of that. And now we've got this incredible telescope out there that sounds like it's going good so far. The heat shield unfolded correctly. Now like the gold plates have to fold out for the reflector for the lens, and then they're going to all run on like separate little mechanisms that they can adjust and get into the right position so that this thing can start taking badass pictures that we won't see until the summer. And that's okay. So yeah, James Webb sounds incredible. We sent a mylar, a plastic origami project that took like 20 years to build into space so that it can draft the Earth for 10 years. The amount of fuel on it's only supposed to last 10 years. 20 years to build it, only got 10 years of fuel. Doesn't seem like the best equation. Feels like you'd want to put more fuel. But there's that whole problem, the one Elon's trying to solve, right? You can only take 4% of the mass that you're launching into orbit. Only 4% of the launch vehicle gets to be payload. I think that's the right number. That's crazy. What percentage are you of your car? What percentage am I of my car? I don't know. I'm 200 and, what did they say this morning? 203 pounds? What was my car? What was my truck? I think my truck weighs 6,000 pounds. 6,000 pounds. So 1% of 6,000 pounds would be 60 pounds. So pretend I'm 240. So maybe I'm 4%. Oh shit, it's the same. But if I have a passenger, we double it. If I have a big passenger, we can go more than double. If I have 4 or 5 people and a dirt bike and a bunch of camping gear, we're starting to do pretty good. Yeah. So me with friends with gear in a truck does significantly better at carrying payload than a shuttle that's going to space to take a satellite or anything else up there. Good. I'm glad that we got from why do male dogs pee on their front legs to mylar telescopes and the percentage of mass carried in a vehicle into orbit. I'm not going into orbit with a pickup truck. But we're smiling. We're smiling. So, good. Fuck this. We did it. I'm putting this thing up. I hope that any of you that are watching this are enjoying this meandering thoughts of Eric Marc. I'm going to keep trying to figure out how the hell to work out getting back to shows, to watch you guys, to sign up on little pieces of paper so that I can try myself, eventually get back into that damn club. I'm going to figure this out. You guys, all respect to you. Stay healthy, good decisions, and hopefully I see you soon. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, for real, thanks a lot. It means a ton. Yeah. Happy January 10th. All right, take care.